Hey guys, it's Dan Calder here. Listen, I want to do a quick video for you on Craigslist 2014 updates. Okay, I got basically two major updates for you. I'm shooting this on June 7th, 2014, so that is well after Craigslist did their little switcheroo. On that note, just so you know that you're in front of the right video, if you're wondering what to do after that, yes, this is after Craigslist no longer allows. And if I'm the messenger, I'm sorry, don't kill me, but I'm just one letting you know. You can in the vast majority of cases, you can no longer do clickable HTML hosted picture ads, that go to the site of your choice. Okay, you can't do any more clickable links in there either. So nothing that clicks to what you want to do or where you want to send the traffic is available anymore. That's just, that's the way it is, So what do you do now? Well, that's what we're going to cover. I just want to let you know, yes, this does cover what to do after that and another update. So that's the first update, basically. Let's go ahead and get to the second update, and that is, if you've tried to find it, or if you know what I'm talking about, or if you don't, there was a site called Craigslist Ad Tracker. It's even been in a lot of my videos as far as one of the important things you have to do, especially now more than ever, okay, now that you can't do any clickable links and dazzle people that way, is you've got to do your ad better. So you need those catchy ad titles. And by that I mean those symbols that you've seen other people do in their Craigslist marketing. Okay, that used to be available at Craigslist Ad Tracker. That is no longer a site anymore. They still are there and is now under classifiedadtracker.com. Okay, so you can still get it. Same tools apply, but they just switched. Probably because they're just being tracked too much. And there's no forwarding link either. So if you've got it bookmarked, or if you're going through one of my older videos, you need to know that it's different now. It's classifiedadtracker.com. I'll just leave that on that. But that's your two major updates, okay? So you can't, if you go into that old site, it doesn't even tell you, hey, this is where you go now. So I just happen to be on an email list from them because I've used them in the past. So that's your update. So now we're going to do, what do you do now? Okay, well, essentially what you got to do is just tighten up what you were already doing, okay? Or, maybe if you're not, that's available. Let me touch on that a little bit. This is actually, I'm shooting this video as an add-on to CraigslistSecrets.info. That's a free course. I've already got well over 100 people I've already given that to. If you're coming to this video for the first time and you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is just to basically tighten up what is already taught in that free course. So if you don't have it, go to clsecrets.info, and this video will be on there soon, which basically just wraps everything up and gets you current on your Craigslist marketing. A little bit about me. I'll make this really quick. You may have come in through Craigslist 101. I've been around a while. My name is Dan Calder again. If you want to pause this video and do a Google search for put the search term in Craigslist 101, you'll see my video's been up there. It's actually been longer than I won't get into that, but the video, it's an old video, which is why I made this course. So I'm just showing you that I've been around a while. So if you go to Craigslist 101, you'll see my videos the first rank out of, I don't know, it's always different, but like 12 million, I think. And there's some, it's worth going into, although it's pretty dated, which is why I've put together this new course. So now we've got us all caught up, I believe. Let's just go to what do you do now? And it's essentially, you just tighten up your ads, okay? You've got to, the basics are, okay, you've got to have a compelling headline. You always did before. You needed to have a compelling ad with a strong picture. When you used to have a link, something in I would teach to have click here in your picture, and they'd go through. Well, you just can't do that anymore. I mean, it's just the way it is. Either, you move on or you stop marketing on Craigslist. So what you do is just tighten up, like you did before. You still had to have a compelling picture graphic, which I do take you through again in the course. I'm not going to get into that, but how to make your own graphics. And then you want to send that traffic to a strong lead capture page, or you may have heard it referred to as a squeeze page. So that's it. I mean, those are your three things you need to do. You still need to have a strong headline, and that's where you go to CraigslistAdTracker.com. Now, the words are going to be yours, but to get their attention, to get one of those symbols, you go to, I'm probably going to keep doing it for a while too, ClassifiedAdTracker.com. So you have a compelling headline, okay? You go to classifiedadtracker.com, you get some symbols in there that are going to get them to look at your compelling headline in the first place. And then you want to have a compelling ad with a strong picture. Now what I do, you can do what you want. And you'll see in the long video and the course, I talk about changing different URLs, buying different, spending $3 to send traffic, because you can't have multiple, let me back up. You can't have the same URL address in multiple Craigslist accounts, which is another thing. If you get into the course, I'll teach you how to do multiple accounts, because that's what you want to do to get your reach out there. But my point is, you don't want to have the same address in multiple accounts, because that'll flag you. Now, before, you couldn't do it before because you still had an HTML clickable link, and Craigslist would pick that up. Okay? The reason I left that same video on the main training course is because it all still applies. It's just a little different. Instead of having this multiple URL strategy, in your HTML clickable link, now you just have it in your graphics. You're just going to have to visually tell them, because again, you can't have, now you can do the copy and paste thing. I don't personally do that. You're welcome to. Other people do. You'll see it everywhere on Craigslist. What I do is either put it in my graphics, which is another trick you want to have, and this is covered in the course again, but you want to go to htmleditor.in, okay? Igloo Nancy, not .com. It's all one word, htmleditor.in. And what you can do is just set your ad up in there, and then you can change your fonts, and you can have some nice symbols. So once you've got past the headline and you get into the ad, again, you look different than everybody else because you've got bigger, darker text that looks better, and you've got different symbols, and that's what you use the HTML editor for. And then the last step is just to have a strong lead capture page, and make sure, you may be using a lead capture page from your company. If you are, your luck is probably, minimal, because I want to keep this broad because I don't know what you're selling, or what you're trying to drive eyeballs to. So I'm going to try and keep this broad. But you do want to have, obviously, once you've got them past the headline, they read your text, and they looked at the picture that's got a nice little www.whateveryou'redoing.com address, okay? And I take that through you in the course, what I'm talking about. But and then once they get to the lead capture page, it's got to be, something that's actually going to convert, okay? So that's where you may run into problem with whatever you're marketing. That's something we can fix. If you're on my email list, which you'll be automatically on if you go to clsecrets.info, there's a way to ask me questions, and we can talk you through that step of it. But before I leave you, make sure that even no matter what you're doing, if you're just, you don't want any more help and you want to do this on your own, make sure that your lead capture page and your ad and your headline, this whole thing has got congruency, okay? Or call it synchronicity, or whatever you want to call it, where it all flows, okay? And it's very important, in my opinion, okay, and I've done this a lot, you need to have your ad, okay? When you're making your ad, the thing that's really going to get their attention, once they've actually clicked on your Craigslist ad and they're looking at it, the picture needs to be very similar to the lead capture page that you're taking them to, okay? I mean, similar in color, similar in feel, similar in text, just so that you don't want them to feel like they just shot off in some other direction, okay? They came to a Craigslist ad, and it's already not a clickable link, okay? That's why it's even more important to tighten up your ads now, your congruency of your ads, okay? So you want to make sure that the whole feel of your Craigslist ad is very, very similar to the feel of your lead capture page or your squeeze page. So that is it, basically. Those are the major two updates. I just wanted to tell you I want to add this. So if you're wondering what do I do now that I can't, is it just me? I can't do clickable links anymore? No, it's not you. Nobody can do them. Oh, and I did want to touch on the small amendment to that is if you go to big cities. Okay, you can still do big cities. I don't personally do that. I think you can make enough. There's enough traffic out there without paying the $25, but you can. You can spend the $25 in a bigger city. I'm talking like a Minneapolis or a Kansas City or a Seattle or whatever, or Miami, just a bigger city. New York might even be more than $25. I just don't do the paid ads. You can, okay? And if you want to, I will touch on this. If you want to, you will now be back into the ability to do a clickable link and a clickable HTML ad. Okay, back to the way Craigslist used to be. You can still do it in the bigger cities. Okay, that's why I'm going to go ahead and leave that training in there on how to do it, if you want to. Again, I don't do it because you don't need to spend the money there. So I think I've covered everything that I want to talk to you about. We got the updates, no pictures, the updates, classified ad tracker now, and what to do. Just tighten up those ads. Make sure you have a nice headline. Make sure you have a compelling ad that looks good. That's congruent with the headline. That's also congruent with the place that you're sending them to. Have a nice, strong graphic with what your address is. Okay, your picture, in my opinion, guys. Besides your text, obviously your text, but you can do a lot with Craigslist without messing a lot with your text. Sometimes it can be just look at the picture above. As long as you have a strong picture with a strong message, with a good graphic, with your web address. I'm sick of people still saying www. But your web address, your whatever your .com is, your .info. I do suggest now, that's one amendment before I want to wrap up. Before, okay, especially because you were just doing an address that they never really saw, you were just buying different addresses to do your clickable link, okay, in your picture ad. I told you just to do a .info address because it only costs you $3 because they never saw it in the first place. Now you can still do that, but remember now people are actually looking at it. I mean, just imagine it like it's a magazine ad, okay? They have to see your web address, and you want it to make it look good. And if it's a .info, it depends. Like I have some things that I'm giving away, so people are more likely to come to a .info address. But if I'm sending them to a straight lead capture page, which is just is not promising them a free gift, it's showing them something. If you're a more seasoned marketer, you know what I'm talking about there. You want to have that be a .com. I mean, if you're totally relying on your image and trust right out of the gate, obviously spend the $10. And again, you can do that for 99 cents. I've got a link in the course. So that's about it. I've covered everything I want to do with this whole update. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to clsecrets.info. And that is about it, guys. Happy marketing, and keep going with your Craigslist ads.